Back in my day, when you would buy a game, you would play it to death. You would play it to death and then you'd play it again. And then you'd swap that game. Maybe a friend of yours would have a game that you'd want to play, and then you'd have a game that they'd want to play, so you do swapsies. You'd swap a game over. Who remembers doing that back in the day? Getting a game and taking it over there and just swapping games with friends, or maybe you got tired of a few games and you didn't want to, and you thought maybe I'll swap these games with you and I'll have these games. But the games that you had, even if they were maybe a little bit average, you would play them for the most part. I know that I played all the games I pretty much had, whether they were on the Atari, my Super Nintendo, my Sega Genesis, on my PlayStation 1, by God, I played so many PS1 games. PlayStation 2, when I got the PlayStation 2, I would play nearly all those games to death. But things changed. We got the digital marketing coming in, the digital era of gaming, and you would buy games digitally, and your library would build up and up and up. And now I've got tons of games on my Xbox library store, and tons of games on my PS5 store, and tons of Steam games that I've never even touched. Not once. So many games just waiting there to be discovered and played. And yet I haven't had the chance to play them. And yet I still keep buying and downloading games. Why am I doing this to myself? Why am I doing it to these games that are wanting to obviously be played, and yet I still choose to buy a game, look at it, maybe even have a little look at it and not even play it? And it's not just me. I know there's tons of people out there who will buy tons of games, still leave them in the wrappers and not even play them. But back when I was growing up, I would play every game. I would play it, even if it was kind of bad and shitty, I would still play it. There was a game I had on the PS1 called Shadow Man. Very difficult game, very frustrating to play. I really couldn't get my grasp of the whole game. And then when I was playing it really frustrated me. But I didn't want to get the better of me, and I completed it. Even though I ended up disliking that game and I swapped it for another game from a friend, but I completed it. But now 9 times out of 10, now if I play a new game that I don't like, I would just not go back to it. But back then, I would at least give it a go and try and complete it, or at least get most of it finished. But now, I'll play for a few hours, and if it doesn't gel with me, I'll uninstall it or just leave it in the library and not play it ever again. Do you feel the same way? When you was growing up, you would play most of the games, even if they were kind of bad or average. But nowadays, if you're playing games nowadays, even if they're good, you just don't get around to playing them. And I think it's because, obviously, games nowadays are getting released more often and more frequently than they were when we were growing up. I get that. But we just seem to build up these libraries of games on the PlayStation, on the PSN, on the Steam, on the Switch, everything. We just have build up of games. And what's funny, with Epic or Xbox, they'll say, oh, free games of the month, or PlayStation will say free games of the month. You go, oh, I've got to download that because I kept meaning to play it. So you download it, and yet you still don't play it. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. So I keep building up my library on Xbox and PlayStation and Steam of all these games, and I don't play them. But lately, I have been trying to change that. I had a game called Sleeping Dogs that my son played, and he loved it. And I've always kept meaning to play this game. I would dabble in it, play a bit for a couple of hours here and there, and then I'd just lose interest. But recently, I went on my TikTok channel and I streamed it, and I actually finished it. And I really enjoyed it. I think it was fantastic, and I'm glad I actually completed it. And now I'm doing Dead Space. I have tried Dead Space several times. Dead Space 1, 2, and 3. And someone said the remake's really good. Should try that out. So I'm trying it out now, and I'm about 7 hours into the campaign, and I'm on chapter 5, I think, or 6. So I'm halfway through the game, and I'm really enjoying it. It's a great story. So I am trying to change that habit of just collecting games and not playing. So I've been playing a lot of older games, like 5, 10-year-old games, 15-year-old games that I've always meant to have played. People have suggested to me they're basically the games you should be playing. Then, because the newer stuff that's coming out right now, yeah, there's some good titles coming out, but they don't really gel with me. Like Black Ops 6 came out, played the multiplayer, really enjoyed that. The zombies was fun, but I haven't finished the campaign yet. Because, I don't know, I just want to play other stuff that's coming through. These other bigger, older games that I'm really gelling with at the moment, I'm really enjoying them. So I'm playing these older titles that have been out 5, 10 years because I wanted to play them at the time. So I'm sort of going through my back catalogue right now of games that I kept meaning to play and give them a go. So I'm doing that now. And it's going to be a slow process, but If there's any games right now that you recommend I should play, that should be no-brainer, you should be playing this game, then let me know down below. Let me know. And let me know how many games you have saved on your Steam, on your Xbox, on your PlayStation, on your Switch, whatever thing that, or even on your mobile, that you have stored ready to play that you have not yet touched yet. And I've got quite a few games, but I'd love to see, I'd love it if you guys could tell me how many games you got out there right now that you haven't played yet. That'd be awesome. Either way, thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and if you like this video, please like and subscribe. I really do appreciate the chats that we're having right now. I really love doing these videos. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.